Yeah, my name is Reginald Heath, the the owner, the operator of the Coach's Box. November 1 of 2018 will be 5 years of being in business as a business owner, black business owner, and tell you it's been a journey. I mean, you learn a lot, you live through a lot, you experience a lot of different things, a lot of different type of hurdles. You run across a lot of different things in your life as a business owner that a lot of people would never understand unless you own that business. And some things you feel like sometimes it's just a test. Man, is this real? Because a lot of times when you never hear of some of the things that some business owners go through. I guess unless you have a business and you talking with other business owners, and then you kind of pick brains, I guess you want to say. But then too, you have a lot of guys that's out there that's in business that don't even want to share their knowledge of things that could make it easier on the next business owner, or help bring that next business owner up to a certain level, or even give him a profile or a pedestal where he should be, or letting him understand that sometimes you got to give a little to make a little. And that's some things I'm finding out, that you got some guys here that just not understanding that concept yet. It's kind of like they holding it in, thinking they can keep it all to themselves, makes them better. But you're only greater when you share, man. I mean, that's the thing that I can testify to from me being in business for the 5 years. You run across people that view your business as a black-owned business. Okay, it's not a business; it's a black-owned business. You run across people that, racism is real. I mean, you have people that come through and, different knocks, what I'm saying, on your business when they don't even know your story, don't know your, where you come from to start this business. But then you have those good people out there, man, that different people, man, that's willing to, give you a shot, they go on the sites like Yelp and different things to find you, Google, or, some people even read your websites or what have you. And when they find you, they much rather not read the bad reviews, the one or two bad reviews you have, or they read them, but they want to come see for themselves. And for the most part, but when you have a 4.8 rating on those reviews, hey man, it speaks for itself. That one person that had a bad experience but didn't want to share the experience that they had with the person that can change it, but you much rather go show it than tell it to somebody else like they can change it. They can't do anything for the business. And those are the people that I like to, reach out to and talk to. Hey man, hey, tell me what you didn't had a bad experience with in my business. And I'm quite sure other business owners are the same way. Let me know what I can do to, change your experience. I may not be able to satisfy everybody, but to walk away with a bad taste, you shouldn't walk away from any business, black, white, anybody business, with a bad taste. That's my, that's my view. It may not be real, but that's what I view. I had a comfortable job, and I made decent living at doing what I was doing. Making the type of money, having the type of security blankets around by having those jobs, man. It makes it tough for you to just step out on faith. And then sometimes how God works, man. He close one door and open up another, and that's how I became, a business owner. Well, I always have been a business owner, but to open up my restaurant, I I was kind of forced out of a position that I was in on a job, and I just wasn't going to go back to another job like that and give them 21 years when I can give it to myself, opening up my own business. And I know the type of person I am, and the way I work and my work ethic and things I can teach, the young people that's coming in, and teach them about business, how to work, how to make it, man. And so I just wasn't going to go back into that type of industry. I decided to open up my own restaurant, and I had been telling guys for, 8, 9, 10 years that I was going to do it. But then when I did it, and then they all come back, and they patronize here, and they come in, and they was like, man, you did it, man, we proud of you. But it was real. If it had happened 10 years ago, look how much further up the road I would be today. If I had just not fought it and went with it, I believe I could have been a lot further. But I think through my life and through my understandings of my spirituality it had to be growth. I had to grow, and that's what took me so long to open up my own business. Was I had to prepare. God prepared me for this, for the obstacles, the hurdles, because I wouldn't just fly off. Younger, I probably would have said something to some of these people. I would have clapped back on what they like, the posts and stuff they put out. But by me being a little bit more mature now and understanding that, you can't please everybody, it's a process, due process. Coach's box, I coached for 14 years, about 15 years of coaching, man. And I coached Little League sports. I had the Little League Cedar Hill Saints, Cedar Hill Bulls. I helped with the Cedar Hill Longhorns starting out, and that's a baseball team organization. And I even helped with the DeSoto Roadrunners with Coach Rod and them, man. They was doing an excellent job, but I seen other areas where I can help them benefit, and I help those guys, man. And by me being a coach, and one thing I took from that was, refs and umpires or whoever would always, get on me. Hey, coach, get back in your box. So that name, just think about it. Coach, get in your box. So what better name than have the coach's box? You can get that coaching in here. Reaching back, that's big. Anytime you can reach back, I have, I think it stems back from when I was in high school, leaving high school and went to college, and getting to college and knowing that I wasn't prepared for college. Going through my college days and understanding that, man, somebody should have told me this, things that I learned along my way, and starting, like I say, with my youth program, and after I seen guys coming out of there not having their own visions and understanding of how to get to that next level of furthering their education, or going to the military, or doing whatever step they was about to take. I started a program, Just Enough Light mentoring program, where we bring in different people, man. They're speakers. I started out bringing in athletes, but as time grew, a couple of years in, I realized that I had rooms of 50 to 60 guys sometime, and all those guys wasn't going to be an NFL player or an NBA player, or an NBA player. So I understand that. By me understanding that, I started bringing in more people that would be more like them. So we started bringing in the engineers, the doctors, the nurses, the different people that understood that, hey, it is what it is. This is our future, and then start reaching in those guys in that aspect, letting them know that, hey, man, football is good, baseball is good, basketball is good, but it's not always. And if anybody really understand the game of football, it's a short term. I mean, it's you ride that until you're done, and anything you're a hit away or a injury away from being taken out the game, even sometime before your time. It may be your time, but before your time, injuries can take you away from that game. Any game, baseball, basketball, anything can be that same way. So we start doing things like helping guys with getting into college and getting them into different backgrounds, like engineer backgrounds and different stuff that they could do that we knew that, hey man, those are more realistic, I guess you want to say. You can do things like this and you can do 30 years at being an engineer and be probably one of the best around if you work on your craft. You take that same work ethic and understand that and that you, whatever time you put into that, just like you did with your sport of choice, you put that same type of time in being an engineer, a doctor, a nurse, or business owner, whatever it may be. You put that same type of time and that same energy behind it, then you would, 30 years is a lot easier to do than 5 years in the NFL. So people just, I guess, gifted with something, and to do it, it just comes natural. I mean, even if I try not to do it, it just comes natural to do. It's something I don't like seeing people down. I don't like seeing people that's lost, I guess you want to say. If I can help you, I'm going to help you. Especially if, a lot of people like to say they help their inner circle or people that's around, but I'm more willing to help anybody that need help. If you showing that you're trying and you are, just kind of lost or need a push, I'm the man that's going to push you to that, to get you to where you're trying to go. I mean, because it's kind of like if you have somebody that that's going to motivate you, push you, or point you in the right direction, you're more adamant to go to them when you feel like you don't want to do it, when you want to quit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, who is that person for me? It's like my dad, I guess. It's big to have a father, and a lot of people don't have. Like with me, with my sons, they already know. They've been pushed and since they've been able to walk, to go the right way. Kids that's in my football program, my basketball program, they've been pushed to go the right way because that's what's in us. I mean, it's easier to go off on the wrong track and get yourself in a lot of trouble that can nobody get you out of than it is to be pushed and motivated to stay on the right path. And sometimes, you have to choose two paths in life. You might start out on one path and wind up getting on another, but it is what it is. You're young, you live your life. I've seen people, I got good friends, man, and those are guys like, Gary Edwards, Keith Edwards, Toby Gentry, those guys, man, Jerry Heathman. I watched those guys, do things, start out on one path and wind up on another path, but look at it, it's a path for the better. Myself, I started out on another path, man. I, put in 21 years in a company, and then look where I am now, 5 years deep in my own business, because, paths in life is, you just can't, they not always, what I'm saying? It's very seldom you see people say, hey man, I did all my life at this job. It's not happening like that anymore because of the governments that we're under now. What I'm saying? We have different people with different agendas in their lives for you. So It's just a matter of you making the choices. Yeah, I grew up in Oak Cliff, man. What y'all call Oak Cliff, but it's Polk and Camp Wisdom, man. Grew up coming through Adair Turner, Atwell, Carter High School, man. Loving it, man. I mean, those that a lot of people love to hate on Carter, but it is what it is, man. We're a big family, man. I mean, we always, if you went to Carter High School, man, we look out for each other, man, because you did walk those halls. It takes a special person to endure what we endured at Carter High, man, and the brotherhood that we formed in all our sports, because we was at the time we was dual sport, triple sport athletes. We were athletes at Carter High School, man, and we didn't play just one sport. We played it all, man. I mean, and we made sure that we pushed each other, not just on the athletic side, but in academics, man. And we had those young ladies, man, that they wanted to see you play, so they made sure you made them grades, man. They helped you when you didn't understand it. They made sure that they helped you get it through, and I'm very thankful for those people in my life back in those days. Being a clown, man, that's who I was. I mean, I was destined just to be a class clown, I guess, man, because I was a knucklehead, but I knew my limits. I had those type parents that you're gonna do what you do, but you're gonna be the best at what you can be. And so yeah, I made the B's and the C's. I'm not an AB student. I'm a CB student. I was a CB student. I made a few A's along my way, which made me even more proud. But like I said, even with pushing my own kids, my sons, I never pushed them to make straight A's because I never made a straight A. So I couldn't push them. I can't expect them to be something that, they say apples don't fall far from the tree. So when my son brought home a C, I can't be mad at him because that's what I made, But I did encourage him to do better, because I did not apply myself to the full, which I expected him to apply himself, but he chose his path, and he'll tell you himself. He didn't apply himself. He could have been a lot further up the road. He had, my wife, man, Karen, man, she was an AB student, so that's kind of how I, view myself. If I hook up with her, man, my kids might be all right. But, I love her, man, we've been together, man, 33 years, man, and that's a testament within itself, man, to tell you what type of relationships that we have. Like I say, my son is 24 this year, and I have another son that's be 22 in January. So I mean, those guys are I guess my pride and joy, man. I mean, I love them to the utmost. Anything dealing with them, that's why I do this. You know what I'm saying? Anything I can help them do, help them get to where they're trying to go, because I've lived my life. I've done what I wanted to do. Now it's about helping them become who they want to be, help them mold themselves into who they're trying to be or wanting to be, and helping them get to that destination. Oh man, we just try to keep it popping at the Coach's Box, man. We do a lot of things, man. But like I said, we sell burgers, wings, fish, salads. Sky's the limit with us, man. You may come in one day, we may have lunch specials. It's just that's the beautiful part about being your own boss. You play it by your ear. You don't have to listen to nobody. I don't have to wait on anybody to call me up and say, hey, Reg, do this. I make a choice. I make my own decisions on what I'm going to do and when I'm going to do it. Man, I mean, the burgers, we got hamburgers, turkey burgers, man. We sell quite a few burgers, man. We push them out, man. We get them going. And like I say, with the crew I have, That's one thing I've learned. You can't be, what's the word I'm looking for? Too comfortable. You can't get to a point to where you just, okay, I'm comfortable with what I have, because you learn that the people, they choose their own paths as well. You may get a couple of people in and think you're doing well, and next day, hey, we're gonna move on. So now you got to look for some more pieces to your puzzle to fit into what you're doing. And to make you be the best, you have to have the crew that's going to help you get to that level. Expectations is big with me. I expect a lot. I'm going to give you a lot, but I expect a lot. When you come here, you're not going to, I try not to have bad experiences with my customers. If my customers have a bad experience, let me fix it. So that's what I use, have my ladies to say, hey, customer over here has a problem with this, and then you want to talk with them. I talk with them or whatever, see if I can't fix it. But like I say, customer service is number one with me. You come here to the coach's box, you expect to be catered to. You don't have to go to all the fine dining restaurants and spend all your money, man, to be catered to. You can be catered to in the coach's box. We do catering, we do events, as far as you can do a baby shower or whatever, man. Any kind of party, birthday parties, whatever. We rent this space out for that. We're here for you, you know what I'm saying? So we take care of any event you may have in your mind. That if you can dream it, we can make it happen for you. So that's what we do. Coach's Box is here to make your good event great. So that's kind of how we roll with it. If you choose us to do your birthday party, your anniversary, your graduation, your baby shower, whatever it is that you choose us to do, we set out to make it great. We take your good ideas and we twist it and make them great. So when people see what you're presenting and giving to them, they're gonna want to know, hey man, where you get those guys from? And that's what my goals are at every event. Again, my name is Reginald Heath. Everyone call me Coach. The Coach's Box is 705 Oriole Boulevard, Duncanville, Texas. Number 972-572-2266.